old, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, real quickly, I want to address the concept of being born again as it's taught in John, the 3rd chapter. We're going to start at the first verse, okay? John 3 and verse 1. Go ahead and read that for me, please.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the YAH. The same came to Yahshua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from Elohim, for no man can do these miracles that you do, except Elohim be with him.
Now, here's the problem that many people have in trying to deal with the concept of being born again. They go directly into whosoever is born of the water and of the Spirit cannot inherit the kingdom of Elohim. They go straight to that without first realizing that Yahshua is actually answering a statement that was made by Nicodemus, okay? So when you hear what Nicodemus says in the first verse, you have to allow that to be the foundation, because Yahshua was just not coming out of his mouth all willy-nilly and all arbitrarily. He was directly answering what Nicodemus was saying. What Nicodemus says is this. He says, we know that you are a teacher come from Elohim, but no man could do these miracles except he be with him. So here it is. Nicodemus is acknowledging the miracles that Yahshua is doing, which he can't really explain, but he's acknowledging it, and then he's acknowledging that some kind of way this man, Yahshua, comes from Elohim, but he don't really understand how he comes from Elohim. And this is what Yahshua is about to teach him, okay? Verse 2.
The same came to Yahshua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from Elohim, for no man can do these miracles that you do, except Elohim be with him. And Yahshua answered and said unto him, Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Elohim.
Now he said, except the man be born again, and again isn't implying that he was already born one time, but he has to be born a second time. And again, right now, here's the key, brothers and sisters. At this point, as we're reading this, I don't know what he's saying. You don't know what he's saying because we have not got to the explanation, because this is a conversation that he is having with Nicodemus. So he just said, look, except the man be born again, and the only thing I get out of that is that, okay, if we're alive, we have been born once. So he says, except the man be born again, he cannot do what?
See the kingdom of Elohim.
See the kingdom of Elohim. He didn't say he cannot see Cincinnati. He cannot see New York. He said he cannot see the kingdom of Elohim. And I'm going to throw something out there. The kingdom of Elohim is a spiritual kingdom. It is about the kingdom of heaven is what he's talking about, okay?
Right.
Now, I'm throwing that out there, but we're going to see how it makes manifest in later on what he's saying. Go ahead.
Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
Now, people laugh at Nicodemus making this statement, but Nicodemus was trying to really understand the concept of being born a second time. Because just like I mentioned, we all have been born that first time, but he's saying, well, what's supposed to happen? He's supposed to go back into his mother's womb and be born again? I mean, what is that about? Okay, and Yahshua is about to explain clearly what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Yahshua answered, Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elohim.
Wow, he said, except a man be born of the water and of the Spirit, he cannot do what?
Enter into the kingdom of Elohim.
Now what does that mean? I think I almost know what he's talking about here, but maybe if I hear him explaining a little bit more, it would all come into light, okay? Because people throw that verse, throw that quote out there, they think they know what it means, but you don't have the entire picture of what he's saying, because he's throwing little tidbits out to Nicodemus to let him know that something has to take place, okay? But I want to share something with you right quick. Nicodemus already said, can he be born from his mother's womb? And I want to throw this out there. His mother's womb is flesh. Wow. And Yahshua said that unless he's born of the water and the spirit, which is not flesh, he cannot see or enter in the kingdom of Elohim. Let's see if we illuminate this thing a little bit further. Go ahead. Verse 6. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. Oh, that which is born of the flesh, that which is born of a woman's womb, flesh is flesh. But watch this. And that which is born of the spirit is spirit. Two separate things. We have all been born of the flesh, but we have not been born of the spirit. We have not. And he's gonna explain to you why you have not been born of the spirit yet. You have to be born again. Watch this. Go ahead. Marvel not that I said unto you, you must be born again. Listen very carefully. He told Nicodemus, look, don't even be amazed that I said unto you, you must be born again. So why all of these preachers out here telling people, you must be born again, you must be born again? Yahshua is telling, see, because again, they're quoting this conversation without keeping in mind that this is an actual conversation between Yahshua and one man, Nicodemus. Okay? So don't come quoting stuff to me without really understanding the origin of what is being spoken here, which is a conversation. He said, look, Nicodemus, don't even be amazed. Don't marvel that I said unto you must be born again. Here's the key. Why did he tell him not to marvel? Verse 8, the wind blows where it listens. He said, this is why you don't marvel, because you look at the wind. The wind blow it where it listed. Go ahead. And you hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it comes and where it goes. Right. So he said the wind, you hear the sound thereof, but you cannot tell where, like we're right here feeling wind right now. We don't know where it comes from or whence it going. Yep. Go ahead. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. Or born again. Born again. Everyone that is born again of the Spirit, because we can't be born again of the flesh. Right. It's impossible. But if you're born of the Spirit, you are just like this wind. You see this, and right now you're looking at my hair. You see my hair blowing? All you see is hair. You can't see the wind. You see what the wind is doing, and you don't know where that wind came from. You don't know where it's going. Everyone that is that's born again, it's just like this, just like that wind. Just like how he was able to manifest himself in the upper room with the doors closed, windows closed, everything. He was born again. He was born again. But now he's about to share something, because right now, he's about to tell you, but go ahead. Verse 9. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Yahshua answered and said unto him. Right, Nicodemus is still trying to understand it. Still trying to understand. It's kind of like the whole thing with the Peter thing and the thing. You see, the concept is that until Nicodemus understands it, then we're going to understand it. Oh, like the eating of the... Right, about the dream about the unclean animals coming down. People quote one verse out of it and swear they understand it. But wait a minute, if Peter don't understand it, you don't understand it. Until Peter understands it, now you understand it. And here it is, Nicodemus is saying, how can these things be? He wants it to be more clear, and he's about to make it clear. Go ahead. Yahshua answered and said unto him, are you a master of Israel and know not these things? He had to mock him first, okay? You call yourself a master in Israel. I got said the same thing about these so-called preachers out here. You call yourself a preacher preaching the word of YAH, but you word of God, but yet you don't even know these things, okay? I say the same thing to him. And see, people, they want to talk bad about you. You ain't supposed to be saying stuff like that or insult people like that. Hey, this is the master. The master do it, I do it, okay? Are you not a master in Chicago or wherever you from and not know these things? Go ahead. Truly, truly, I say unto you, we speak that we do know and testify that we have seen. He says, look, We speak that, and when he says we, he means everybody. Everybody. We all speak that we do know, and we testify that we have seen, okay? If you're from Syracuse, and you tell me, well, in Syracuse, this is what happened 2 years ago in Syracuse, I'm going to take your word for it because you was there. You speaking to me that you do know, and if I'm from Chicago, I'm going to testify on something that I know that happened from Chicago. We all speak that we do know and testify that we have seen. See, they both run one and the same. This is not something about, something real deep. All we can do is testify that we have seen it. That is basically what he's saying. But go ahead.
And you receive not our witness.
He said, you receive not our witness as we testify these things. But watch this. John
3:12. If I have told you earthly things and you believe not.
If I have told you of earthly things, if I done broke down some things to you, like even right now in this present day 21st century, where you have a lot of righteous Israelites out here trying to teach our people concerning things about paganism, about things concerning that the whole world has been void of understanding and have been deceived by the vain traditions and doctrines of men. And we can clearly show you these things that we can clearly testify of. If I have told you of these earthly things, even including the concept of who Israel, who we are, Israel, who we are, according to prophecies, according to scriptures, according to history, we can show you these things. He said, if I say that again.
If I told you earthly things.
If I tell you of earthly things, go ahead.
And you believe not.
And you don't believe those things, go ahead.
How shall you believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
How can you believe if not me, because see, watch this. I have never been there. I cannot testify of a heavenly thing because I've never been there. He's talking about himself. How can you believe if I tell you of heavenly things? Born again is a heavenly concept because I'm able to do these miracles, and he's going to tell you why he's able to do these miracles. Not only that, he's going to be able to tell you how he actually comes from Elohim. See, I could say, oh, I come from Elohim, but no, I come from my mother's womb. Okay? But watch this. Go ahead.
13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven.
See that? No man have ascended up to heaven. If you have not ascended up to heaven, you cannot testify being born again. Right. You can testify of earthly things, but you can't testify heavenly things because you're not like the wind. You have not ascended from heaven because no man had ascended unto heaven. But go ahead.
But he that came down from heaven.
But he that came down from heaven. Yahshua is the one that actually came down from heaven, which is why he can testify concerning being born again. He can testify what it takes to enter into the kingdom of Elohim. Go real quickly in the 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, and the 50th verse, okay? 1 Corinthians 15, 1 Corinthians 15 and 50. Go ahead.
Now I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Elohim.
Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Elohim. That's the same thing Yahshua just told you. Right. You must be born again. Go ahead.
Neither does corruption inherit incorruption.
Absolutely. You must be born again. We are not born again, brothers and sisters, not according to what he was teaching in John, the 3rd chapter. He was showing them not only what he can testify of, he was showing them how he really came from the Father because he descended from the Father, and how he was able to do all those miracles that he do because all that is something that you being born again are able to do, okay?
You got to be changed.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah, read that.
51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. That means death, right?
Right. That's correct.
But we shall all be changed.
All be changed. That's born again. Because why is it born again? Because you went back into the earth. If you died and was buried, but you're going to come out a new creature, born of the Spirit. The Spirit is what's going to change you into that new creature, okay? So that is the short end of being born again, according to John the 3rd chapter. And Father.
The whole thing.
Just go ahead. You want to continue reading that?
Yeah. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead, which is the sleep, shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Right.
For corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
That's correct. We can't testify that, though.
Right.
We can't testify that because we have never seen it.
Right.
It says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So all we can do is bear witness of our faith in was that, but we cannot actually say we have seen it in existence, okay? So again, with that note, I thank you for your time. Hallelujah.